Howdy friends, Ian here with the Brown House Tavern, and I have here an old quilt that I found while cleaning out my parents' house. I had never seen it before, not in all the years I lived there, but I found it in the back of a closet at the very bottom of a large stack of stuff, and it was old and frayed, coming apart, holes with the batting missing in a lot of places. And initially I thought about throwing it away, but something stopped me. This quilt, though I don't know its story, had obviously been important enough for somebody to sew by hand. I could tell by the stitches. And obviously it had been given to one of my parents, and they kept it for all the years of their life. So I decided to take it home and mend it in the only way that I know how, which is patches and a running stitch, or boro and sashiko. Now I know this will probably make the quilters angry, but I'm not a quilter yet. Something I want to learn, but I haven't learned how yet. And this will still be beautiful when I'm done. Been working on it for several months now, and nowhere done patching all the holes and the frayed parts and where things are weak. Which kind of brings me to one of the things I wanted to talk about while we're mending this. Got a patch I cut out from some spare fabric. One of those is just our throwaway culture that we have today, where often it's cheaper, easier, more convenient, and oftentimes the only way to get something, because corporations have made it harder and harder to fix things in their pursuit for more profit, to the point where many things aren't fixable at all. And where they are, they try to restrict you from fixing something by withholding the manuals, or saying that you've broken their intellectual property. Now, I don't like that. I don't believe in that. But it got me thinking a little bit deeper. What does that say to us about a society when we'd rather throw something away when it's got a little use or a little wear or it's broken than taking the time to fix it, or making sure that that item can be repaired, that it's in good order? So much, we can't even fix on our own. What other things do we not bother trying to fix? Our country, our neighborhoods, our schools. Mending was one of those vital arts that our forefathers knew, our foremothers mostly. When something wore out, they'd put a patch on it or they'd darn it. Clothing was handmade, and even if it wasn't, it was still expensive. And they had to make last, and they would often pass it down. So they knew how to hem, how to patch, how to sew, how to make do. If something broke around the house, they fixed it. But we don't do that so often these days, do we? And just, what other things could we fix? Could we mend? Something that I mentioned in our last video was quiet activism, or quiet revolution. We're more familiar with its sibling, the one that gets on the news when people strike or protest or work stoppages. Those get the news. But there's another one that's just as important. And that takes place within us. How we choose to spend our time. How we choose to spend our money. There's a lot of things that we can't control. We can't always control what our government does. We can't control what corporations really do. I mean, we can try, but they've got a lot of power and money. But we can choose what has our attention. We can choose how we spend our time and our money. We can slow down. We can learn a new skill. We can fix things. This quilt will still keep you warm, even with its hodgepodge of patches and uneven stitching. It'll still serve its purpose. What else can you fix in your life? Do you wish you knew your neighbors more? That your neighborhood was more of a community? You can mend that too. You can go outside with your family or by yourself and take a walk in the evening. Wave hi to your neighbors. You'd be surprised how many of them will stop and talk. And before you know it, you'll know each other's name, their faces. You're on your way to becoming acquaintances, if not friends. But you don't have to stop there. What if there's some other things that you wish to be mended? Maybe there's a pothole in the street near your house. Well, you could get together with your neighbors that you met and have them all call the county or the city and see if they can get that fixed or write a petition. Maybe too many people are running stop signs in your neighborhood. Maybe y'all can get together and ask for more police presence for a while. When you really stop to look at it, there's a lot of things that we could mend and a lot of things that are in our power. Not just fixing these small things, but with cooperation and help, we can do bigger things together. I mean, there's a lot of things that don't even require the government. And I think some of the other things that are broken in our society that are almost manufactured. I think about the news and how everything seems designed to get a reaction from you. Because whatever gets a reaction gets advertisers and money. And they've discovered that the best reaction they can get from you is anger. You can choose not to pay attention to those types of news. You can choose to get your news in a slower way, maybe through a print newspaper or through an online newspaper, and read a variety of that. But that act of slowing down and reading can help you avoid the reactions that they want. And if we do that, maybe we will stop seeing other people as enemies, even though we disagree. Now, of course, there are a lot of things I disagree with and I don't think should be compromised. But there's a lot of other things that can be. Those are just some of the things that were on my mind. I also wanted to take a little time to do another little patch. Slowly but surely, we'll be able to use this quilt again, and I will have enjoyed the time spent fixing it. The slowing down and the noticing and thinking, away from screens and algorithms. And I hope you can do that too. And I hope you'll join me on this journey. So if you like the content that I'm doing, and if you want to see more, please like this video and subscribe and tell your friends. And other than that, I hope you have a beautiful evening, and we'll talk soon.